This piece has arrived through the Holy Spirit by inspiration. And this is number 5 of 7 pieces. It's called Bitter Fruit Racial Crop. And I'm going to move this. Everything here, the Most High told me that everything that He was going to, I needed to bring the work out of me that He was going to give me, that I already had. So everything that you see here were things that I had. And I will start with the tree. I used to be a model in Atlanta a long time ago, and I used to wear some really, really revealing things so He was transforming me from the pain of losing my father, my mother, my son being incarcerated, and then all of the other dysfunctionalness that was going on in my family. And so I was an outcast after my parents died. My other siblings kind of just pushed me away. And so through that pain and not understanding, I regressed and went into a state of depression. And out of that pain and that loneliness and that seclusion came bitter fruit racial crop. These pieces that you see spoke to me. This was a crossbody bag. And when I was looking for the piece, I conversed with the Most High as I do in everything. The piece came to me and said, "That's your tree." And I said, "That's not my tree, that's my purse. And I like this purse." And he said, "That's your tree." Yes. And I said, "Well, how's that going to be my tree?" So then I had to separate the bag. And this was the bottom parts, whatever I could do. Most of these pieces, the top, the limbs that are reaching out, I had to put it together. And if you look closer, you can see how it is put together in pieces to get what it needed. And that was actually the first thing on the canvas, was the tree. And then I had to work around whatever else God wanted me to do to put on it. So, and then I looked for rope through everything that I had. Bonnie Rodriguez had given me some scrap from the Gallup Museum, and that made the leaves for the magnolias. This is white felt. This is just the same green fabric that I had to make the grass. And each grass is hand done, and there's lots of grass everywhere, too much grass. I did not want to do it on my hand. It was killing my hands. So I tried to do it on the machine with zigzag on my sewing machine. And the Holy Spirit spoke to me and said, "No, don't, I told you, the blessing is coming through your hands, not the machine." So I had 2 pieces of grass. I had to rip out the zigzag and do it on my hand. This leather piece is from a friend of mine, pant that I had cut and hemmed for him. And this was left over, and that's his boot. And his boot fell when his neck broke from me. And it ended up behind the tree because there was not enough of the leather to make 2 shoes. This was a shirt, very fitted and tight denim shirt of mine. And this was another shirt of mine. Some things are still in place. I tried to do the lip twisted as you die, bulging. It has no hair because it's a man. It has no hair because it's a woman. It's a boy or it's a child. It's whoever have pain, who have hurt, who have trial, who have tribulations. The flag is flipped because it's flipped. Because the flag is good for black and whites because they fought in the war. We fight against each other. The flag is bad because of what the KKK made it when he staked it in the front of the churches and the homes of the people that they burned. So there's meaning both. The man behind here, these are not legs, these are pants, by the way, for everybody who said they were legs. And these are boots. There's the KKK white man behind here because they killed, castrated, hanged, cut, did whatever they wanted to do randomly to whomever. The man behind here is black because we do it to each other. We have black on black crime. The man behind here is a police officer because they shoot us randomly before they even know. They could shoot us in our leg, they could use something other than a bullet, but they shoot 10, 20, 15 million times to kill us because that's what's in them. The person behind here is a black boy because the black has black on black crime. It's a white boy because it's white on white crime. Wando High School. Somebody have a text, whatever. Those were white children. One just went up and stabbed the other. So it's your trial, your journey, your tribulation, what it means to you. It's an individual thing. This is what it meant to me. The fire is burning on the cross because they used that before they set the house on fire or church on fire. But the fire is burning because the Most High God is angry and He's tired. And He is giving us warnings through tsunamis and storms and tornadoes and 9/11 and so many signs, and we keep ignoring, just like Noah. No one believed until it rained for 40 days and 40 nights and it was time to go, and it was too late. So while we're in the flesh and we have the understanding, God is real, He's not dead, He's alive. And I do not know how people can get up in the morning and just move around like they're doing it themselves. They're not. So heed the word, because He said, my people who are called by my name, if they would humble themselves and pray and seek my face, He said, I will heal your land. You're white, I'm black. If you cut your skin, you bleed, mine bleed too. We do wrong to each other. Don't bring me no flowers, no roses, no ring. Just come and tell me I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. God can work with that because you said it, and then He can change you. But if you think you can just verbally abuse me, I'm the mother of your children, and you continue to verbally abuse me over and over again, and then you want to bring me some roses. You can keep your roses, your flowers, and your rings. Come to me and say, honey, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it. And if you mean that, when you say it in your heart, then there's transformation. There was transformation for me. All of us have sinned and come short of His glory. We are not perfect. We're in the flesh, and the flesh fights against the spirit. And the one that you feed the most is the one that's going to be lifted up. But let me tell you from experience, flesh is not satisfied. The more you give it, the more it wants. So feed the spirit. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind. And let God use you. And let's love each other and come together as one. We don't have to continue to live this way. So this is my story behind bitter fruit racial crime. Thank you.
So what do you say when people look at this and are offended by the imagery and iconography, and it looks like it could be really the point of view expressed could be from a white supremacist as well as from a person who has overcome great adversity from the victimization of racism?
From the negative point of view, white supremacy, I could see where that could be taken in response to this piece. Because of the KKK, they know what they did.
Yeah.
You don't do evil and forget. You don't sweep it under the carpet, because when you move it, it's still there. They did a lot to our people. But not only the black people, they did a lot to all people.
All people.
And a lot of people, they were black KKKs for those who don't know, as well as white KKK. Okay, I did my homework.
Yes.
Okay. So for those who are feeling extra in their spirit when they look at this, the skinheads, the white supremacists, or anybody who have this in their family background, because lots of people have come to me crying and asking me for forgiveness. I have to send them to the person who sent me, which is the Most High. To them, then that's a seed that's planted inside, and that's something that you have to deal with. You have to get on your knees. If you're believing, if you're not, then you need to find your way and figure it out and work it out. It's an individual thing.
Yes, you're asking the viewer to do that.
That's exactly what I'm doing. And so I can see where this is a part of our history. This happened. But this is a part of me, because that's what I felt like. Broken, torn, dead, killed, pulled apart, ravaged by things that I was experiencing when I created this piece. And for the African Americans who don't understand their history, stop Googling the Kardashians. and Google Black history. Learn about your history, because if you knew about your ancestors as well as mine, then you would not have said the things that you said in the first place. I label you ignorant and unintelligent.